You keep your luggage light. Listen, a number of years ago, I fly a lot. I traveled a lot. And I was one of those long trips. Remember these Air Force airplanes, the supersonic ones, the Concords? Remember them? It was a British, French made airplane. They flew 2.5 times the speed of light, the speed of sound. Supersonic aircraft. They ran for about 10, 15 years and then they quit flying them because it was getting too expensive. And they were flying usually Paris, New York, London, New York, from Europe to the States. This clock keeps changing. You see, the Hebrew people, our clock is eternal. Our heart moves. Our clock moves by centuries, millenniums. But we're doing good. In one of those trips, I was traveling. It was actually a round the world trip. It was on all 5 continents over 3 weeks. It was crazy. And the first leg of the trip, they lost my luggage, and we ended up in a hotel. Ended up, long story short, they wake me up at 4 in the morning. They said, one flight is leaving, the airport is open, the snow has been removed. And they hauled me to, I was in New York, they hauled me to a long line, and I'm standing in the back of the line. They lost my luggage. I have nothing but my briefcase and my laptop and my toothbrush. And I'm standing in line. I can't even see what I'm standing in line for. And all of a sudden, a stewardess, one of the girls at the airline, she comes in, she tugs on my jacket. It happens to me once in a while. I think it happened to us in Israel, Sister Gina. Somebody comes and tugs on my sleeve, and instantly my spirit goes back to the prophecy of Ezekiel, where he says, 10 men from the nations would grab on the skirt of one Jew and would say, can we stand you? Where are you going? And the lady from the airline came and tugged on my jacket. She said, this is the wrong. And I said, how do you know my name? She said, never mind, never mind. She said, where's your luggage? I said, lady, you lost my luggage 2 days ago. I'm stuck here in a snowstorm, and we've been sitting in this little hotel waiting to get out of this little town. I said, do you see me and my briefcase? This is it. She said, good. I said, good. She said, yeah, good. Come with me. And she whisked me out of the line. She walks me through all these back doors. She swipes her card. She opens the secret pathways, and we walk through the hallways. All of a sudden, I find myself in a little, like a buffet area. But it was not like the hotel buffet. It was like the White House. Wow. Shrimps, and I see all the expenses. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten a decent food. I'm trying to grab something. She says, no time, no time. And they walk me right through the hallway, set me through a little door, sit me down in the airplane. She goes out, shuts the door, and the thing takes off. They upgraded me to the last seat in the Concorde supersonic airplane. That was a number of years ago. And he takes off from New York to London. I'm amazed. I'm ex-military, so I'm always into action. So I'm looking, I'm staring, I'm checking. We go over, we rise above the city of New York. As soon as the airplane clears the territorial waters of the United States, the pilot gets on the PA system. He says, everybody, stand still, don't be afraid. Buckle up real good. We take it off. And he puts on what they call the afterburners, which is the big engines, the supersonic engine. The thing takes off. Everybody gets blasted to their seat. And he goes up to 67,000 feet. That's about 3 times the height, the elevation of normal jet, commercial jets. And he goes to about 2.5 times the speed of sound, about 2.5 Mach. We flew on the edge of the stratosphere. You could see the curvature of the earth. You can see that the planet is round. The color was purple outside. And it's peaceful, and you don't hear anything. Like a spaceship. In 2 hours, we were over London. And we're beginning to circle and to land in London. I promise I'll get back to the word, but this is the word for you. And I'm heading to party. I'm walking in the airplane, I'm knocking on the doors for the pilots that let me in. I'm telling them, hey guys, I'm from Israel, I'm ex-military, this is amazing. Oh, sit down, sit down. They explained to me how the thing worked. It was like flying a military-grade missile. Finally, the pilot gets on the horn. He says, everybody sit down. We are beginning our descent. And I'm looking over London already underneath me through the window. And all of a sudden, the Lord speaks to my heart. It's clear as you can hear me. I hear the voice of the Father. Because I was just busy having a good time. I was like a kid. I'm enjoying the moment. And the Lord says, do you think that you are here by coincidence? Oops. So I quieted down and got into my prayer posture, you know. We have that religious prayer. It's like, okay, Lord. Yes, sir. I'm listening. Do you have a word? And the Lord spoke to my heart. This is the word I want to give you now from the chapter of faith. The Lord says, the days are coming, said the Lord, when my people will fly a lot higher, a lot faster, and there will be no turbulence whatsoever, because we flew at 67,000 feet, way above all the weather systems. There was no bumps, no clouds, no ripples in the air. It was like spaceship in space. This was a promise. My people will fly much higher, much faster. No turbulence. But there was one and only one condition. And I said, yes, Lord. He says, no luggage. Because the only way she got me on that flight, that's why she asked me, where's your luggage? I said, lady, you lost it 2 days ago. She said, good, because if we had to wait for the luggage to be transferred from the other airlines, we'd never get it on the plane. No luggage, run with me. And this was the word of the Lord. My people will fly much higher, much faster, above all the turbulence of this world. But there's one condition. And listen, and it was free. I didn't have to pay a dime. I had no idea how I got on that flight. Somebody upgraded me. I found favor. Amen. But there was one condition. The Lord said, no luggage, no baggage. Hot food. Food. Hot food. Food. Hot food. Food. And you release the burdens, the bondage, and the burdens of this life. You know God. And you sow that. This is the faith of the fathers. This is what they joined into. And yet they died by faith looking for the promise. It says in verse 17 that by faith Abraham offered up Isaac. Offered up Isaac. I hope to God we never have to be tested like that. But he was. Everything he was on promise, everything he held dear, everything that he cherished, give it to God. Amen. And not just give it to God, put it to death and give it to God. And that's why the New Testament interprets Abraham's actions and says that he trusted in the resurrection. He already figured it out. If God calls me to offer up my son, to offer him, to kill him at the altar, it's because God will raise him up. This was the faith of Abraham. And by that faith, he offered up Isaac. By faith, verse 20, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith, Jacob, when he was in Egypt, blessed each of the sons of Joseph. By faith, Joseph, when he was dying, made mention of the departure of the children of Israel and gave instructions concerning his bones. 400 years before Israel came out of Egypt, Joseph commanded them. He says, when you go out, don't forget me. Bring my bones back home. It's important for us. The Hebrew people, we count these things. Burial is important. You deposit your bones in the depository of your whole household. It is a tribal burial box. And everybody's bones are together because we are family. And this was Joseph's final words to them. He believed God would bring them out. He probably believed it's going to be 400 years because God spoke this word to Father Abraham. And he said, when you go out, you're not to leave without me. Take my bones. When Israel came out of Egypt. Do you know what was at the head of the column? A prophet. They were marching out of Egypt with Joseph's coffin, bringing him back home. The deliverer was with them. By faith, he gave them that command. By faith, he says, Moses, when he was born, was hidden 3 months by his parents because he was beautiful, because they believed in the living God. By faith, he says, that he did not esteem the treasures of Egypt, but preferred the reproach of Christ. By faith, Moses forsook Egypt. By faith, he kept the Passover. What a holiday! Today we celebrate the Passover as a little religious rite. We have the foods, we have the egg, we have the green, we have the prayers. The whole thing became such a traditional hodgepodge. We forget it was all about the blood. And that's what the word Passover means. The Lord shall pass over us. Judgments are coming on the earth, and they are accumulating in successive rounds. But we, you and I, have passed over. The Lord shall pass over us. We have, by the decree of the Lord, protection. Say with me, protection. We have deliverance. We have healing. We have grace. We have help from the sanctuary. We are not orphans of this world. We have a Father who's awesome. We have angels who are serving, and we have one another as good company in the journey. We are not alone in this campaign. By faith, he offered the Passover. And then he goes down the rest of the chapter, Hebrews 11. It is a successive list of the rest of the heroes of faith. Verse 30. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down.
We'll pray for lunch after
How would you like to be on that battlefield?
Pray for lunch.
Here is Israel, 2-3 million Hebrews coming out of the wilderness. They have been in the wilderness for 40 years now. They're hungry. They're tired of the dust. They're tired of the manna. They can't stand another day in the heat. They see the promised land. This is our generation. We've been at it for a long, long time, and we begin to see the promises of God on the horizon. But there's battles ahead. There's enemies in the land. We have to be tested. This is not cheap. There's going to be a price. There's always a price. And when we pay the price, make sure it is a sacrifice to go through. Don't complain. Don't make a miserable scene. Every time something is required of you, turn it around. Make it a sacrifice. Make it worthwhile. Give it to God and say, yea, God, that I can join the sufferings of Christ. Make it worthwhile. There's a way to transform even the humblest of moments into a victorious shout. And we have become experts on it. We've been doing this 1,000 years. And so we welcome you into the family of the community of faith. And yea, though we die by faith, we are more than conquerors because of him who loved us unto death. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down on a hungry, desperate bunch of Hebrews. They're coming out of the wilderness. They've been at it for 40 years. They see the cornfields. They see the orchards. They see the apples and the grapes. They're so sick and tired of eating manna. They want the good stuff of the land. I want the good stuff of the land. But they had to conquer. And the great first big fortress is Jericho, the oldest city in the world. And what was the battle plan? How many of us would have believed and obeyed Joshua on that day? What was the strategy? He said, send in the drones, send in the special forces, bring in the heavy artillery, we're going to hit you from the left, we're going to come from behind, we're going to drop the paratroopers downtown. No. He said, everybody's in it. Why? Silent. 2-3 million Hebrews marching around this city. Silent. 7 days. The only thing the enemy hears, they hear the shofar of God. They hear the trumpets. And what's leading the camp of this strange army? the Ark of the Covenant, the presence of the Lord. That's what we have. I love your worship. I love your worship leaders. I don't see them. Every time I come up here, they disappear. These people are the Holy Spirit. They come and they go like the angels. But if I can grab you, hug you, and they kiss you, because I haven't seen and heard such worship in a long time. Thank you. Israel is marching around Jericho in total silence. Hallelujah! Who knew? They knew the Lord is marching with them, and on the seventh day, on the final round, they blew the trumpet. They let out a great shout. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down. Not because of our Air Force, not because of our tanks brigades, not because of our IDF, God bless our soldiers, but the hand of God. By faith, the harlot Rahab received the spies. What a woman, a prostitute from the neighborhood who knew better. And when the opportunity came, when the man of God showed up, she said, I want a piece of the action. I don't want to go down with my people. I want to be with these folks. She hid them, she fed them, she protected them, she sent them back in freedom. And when Joshua led the commando forces of Israel into Jericho, they had one clear command. He said, look for the scarlet robe. Look for the sign in the window of Rahab the harlot. I think she's the only person in the Bible who is still recorded in the book of Hebrews, Rahab the harlot. What a reputation, but I don't think she cares right now. Because she's transformed. I used to be a harlot. I used to be a reprobate. And all of us have a past. And all of us have a future. In Him. And that's what matters. On that day of glorious victory, all the eyes of Israel were searching on the walls of Jericho. Where is that blessed window with the scarlet robe? Where is Rahab? They had to save her. The whole army gathered there to secure her safety. Her, his Bible says, and her household were spared. She married Salmon, one of the princesses in the tribe of Judah, and she entered into the genealogy of Jesus. A harlot from Jericho. And how did she do it? Was she so smart? Was she so bright? Was she so good? Was she so godly? Was she so pure? Nothing. By faith. That's what we find in the book. She had faith. That's what you join into. And by faith, he says in verse 32, what will they say? Time would fail me to even tell all the story. Time would fail me today too. This guy is obnoxious. Somebody pull him right up. The writer of Hebrews had the same problem. All of us Hebrew preachers have the same problem. There's never enough time to tell the whole story of how great God is. How good His plan. How awesome His ways. How eternal His promises. His story will never end. We're talking about it and talking about it and praising His name forever and ever and ever. That's why we're going to have eternity. Because there's no end to God. And there's going to be no end to His praises. Time will fail me, the writer says, to speak of all of them. Verse 32, Gideon and Barak and Samson and Samuel and the prophets who through faith subdued kingdoms and worked righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouth of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of wickedness were made strong, became valiant in battle, turned to flight the armies of the aliens. Women received their dead back to life. Others were tortured, not accepting deliverance that they might obtain a better resurrection. Still others had trials and mockings and scourgings and chains and imprisonment. They were stoned. They were sown in two. they were tempted, they were slain with the sword, they wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, in destitute and afflicted, tormented, those of whom the world was not worthy. There is such a company walking throughout the earth. We've been at it for a long, long time. We choose God. We follow His voice, and the world is not worthy of you. That's why you come to Hebrew people. You're already passing through. You set your eyes on a different city. You're headed to a different kingdom, and it's coming, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and mountains, in dens and in caves of the earth, and all of these, the last verse of Hebrews 11, the Hall of Faith, the heroes that we look into their lives and we say, good God, how did they do it? Simple humans like you and I. Some of them were kids. Some of them were too old to do any good. Many of them were women, sisters in the faith. Most of them were not qualified. And the only qualification is faith. You join the community of those who believe God, who believe His Word, who trust in His character, who are patient to wait for the promises. And yea, though you may need to die in faith, it is much better than to live in doubt. And all of these, the last verse says, having obtained a better testimony through faith, they did not receive the promise. And He gives us the answer. And with this we will finish this morning. All this mighty host of heroes, from Abel to Noah, to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, to Moses and Sarah, to the patriarchs and the matriarchs, every generation had heroes of faith, to the judges and to the prophets and to the mothers of the church. All of them, He says, they did not receive the promises. Why? The last verse. Because. There's always a reason. Because God, having provided something better for us, that they should not be made perfect without us. This is the bottom line of what you connected into. The Hebrew people, we have been at it for a long, long time, and we will continue to die in faith because we are waiting for you. All these heroes, all these Old Testament men and women of faith, all these generations who somehow hung on to God by strength that was supernatural, by faith that was not taught them in school. They drank it from their mother's milk. They received it from their father's disciplines. By faith they hung on to God, but they never received the promises. Why? Because we're waiting on you. We're waiting for you. Because He says that we'll not receive perfection without you, the rest of the family. And so, dear friends, pastors, friends of mine, all over the world, they ask, hey Reuben, what can we do for Israel? They do. We want to take an offering. We want to say a blessing. We want to come and visit. And I tell them, by all means, come. We'll receive you at the airport. We'll have celebration for the living God on the mountains of Zion. Come. We'll take your offerings. We'll take your love. We'll take your faith. We'll take your blessings. But the best thing you can do for Israel, do you know what it is? Get your act together. Get on with a mission. Transform your lives. Be a light in the darkness. Be a force to good in your society, in this city, in this nation, in this part of the world. Because the Bible is clear, and it says that the Jewish people shall remain in partial blindness until the fullness of the nations come in. We are waiting on you, and you, and you. And that's why I'm glad. That's why I'm thrilled. That's why it's worthwhile for me to travel 10,000 miles to look you in the eyes and say, yay, God, the days are drawing close. The children are coming home. Hallelujah! Yes, Jesus! The campaign is going strong. I see the children see the people coming home. I see you departing from the spirit of this world and by faith embracing Jesus, Yeshua, the King of the Jews, the Holy One of Israel, the Son of Man, the Son of God, who is coming with His glory, with the angels of God. The heavens shall open up, and He will return back to earth. The angels said, "Oh, what are you afraid of, sons of Israel?" In the first chapter of the book of Acts. The disciples are looking up to the heavens. Where is this Jesus? He disappeared. He took off and vanished. And the two angels told them, "Don't worry. He will return in the same manner." His feet shall rest upon Mount Olives. He will march into the city of Jerusalem, but He's not coming alone. He's got a whole army with Him, the saints and angels. You have joined the winning team. You have joined the Hebrew nation. You have joined the people of faith. And yea, though you may need to suffer and to wait patiently for the promises, I tell you, we would much rather die in faith than live in doubt. So this is the word for you today. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let go and know the living God. Let's stand together. Stand together. We give thanks to the Lord for time and for a place to worship God. Father, I thank you for my friends. I thank you for my brothers. I thank you for my sisters. I thank you for my fathers. And I thank you for my mothers. I thank you for every soul and every household, every community and every province and every nation that is present in this hall today. We call upon the name of Yeshua, who is worthy to be praised, the champion of the host, the Lord of the armies of the living God. You are coming on a white horse. The sword of God is reaching for your mouth to slay your enemies. And we declare your people are free to serve the great purpose of the living God. Free to obey. Free to take faith. Free to wait. And free to take action. Let the living Word of God be heard in these halls. Let the living Word of God abide in these hearts, securing the destiny of each and every one of us. We are connected to the living God, and He is ever young. He is always fresh. He never grows old. There's nothing ancient about Him. He is the Ancient of Days, but He is young, forever fresh. And so we pray the blessing of freshness and of life and vitality. Let there be healing throughout the ranks. Let there be strengthening entering into the bodies. Let there be even an encouragement into the joints and the marrow, into the muscles and the tissues, into the body members and the inner organs of our bodies. We call our bodies to serve God well. We pray for an anointing of health, an anointing of strength, an anointing of happiness, an anointing of courage, an anointing of splendor, and the glory of the Lord will rest upon us, because we are in Christ Jesus, saved unto good works, predestined for us from before the foundations of the earth. Do you believe it? So hallelujah. Udu. Hallelujah. Udu. We let go and we let God reign in our lives. Amen.
Wow. God has been so good. The Lord has allowed us to feast tremendously on the spiritual food. How many have been blessed so far? Can I see your hands? But the Lord is going to allow us to go into lunch. What the real food is that? Okay? But there are two things before I pray for the provision. There are two things that the Lord would want us to remember. In enjoying our material food, of course we remember Matthew 4 verse 4. Man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. And I would like also to remind you of the words of Jesus, John chapter 4 verse 34, when His disciples would offer Him food, saying unto Him, Master, eat something. But Jesus reminded them, I have food that you know nothing about. My food is to do the will of Him who sent me. You know, the material food that we are about to eat would only satisfy temporarily.